Hey guys, this is Brian with Elion Design Solutions, and today we're going to be going over the basics of 3D modeling in Autocad. What we're going to do is, if you look down here on this little ribbon here, there are some basic 3D functions that can get you going real easy, and this tutorial is designed to just get you up and going and familiar with the basic 3D geometry that comes built in house without having to draw any custom shapes to generate your stuff. So this one is actually under the modeling tab, and if you right click on the little, see how it's got like little buttons on there, so if you right click on one of the your toolbars, I call it a ribbon, but it's actually a toolbar. And it'll pull up an array of options that you can choose from. Now this is kind of sort of how I like to do my stuff, and you can see how I have the modeling one already loaded here, and that's what that one is here. That's what we're going to be focused on today. It's really easy to use once you get acclimated with it. There are also, some of these have shortcut key commands, but me personally, although I am a keystroke guy, but when it comes to 3D modeling, I kind of bounce in between using toolbars and keystrokes. So without further ado, let's get going. So we've got a brand new drawing up and running here. First thing we want to do is save it, so just in case Lord knows something were to happen, we can go back to where we were. So we're going to just do a save as, and you can save it where you want. I'm not going to save mine just because this is just going to be a tutorial. So just like you would any other file, do a save as to where you like to put your stuff, right, using that. So this is pulled up, and some people like using the grids how they're shown and others don't. You want to turn those off. Hit F7 on your F7 on your keyboard there, and it should turn it off. And I mean, if you're more comfortable with having it on, you can, and you can set it to snapping and all that. But personally, I don't like them on. So next thing we need to do is let's get this into a isometric view. We're going to use the Southwest isometric. See, SW isometric. And you can't really tell, but if you look at our box here, it's shifted. So if we go back to top view, and this is actually under the, if you want to know, if I can get out of that, this is actually the which one is that? That would be the view. That's your view. So if you want to pull that one up, might help you out. And so I'm waiting for it to, there it goes. So it says view, you can see. So if you can toggle between that, or you can use your cube up here, whatever you're comfortable with, really. Also, in addition to that, let's make sure we pay attention. You guys pay attention to down here. If I forget to tell you what I'm keying in, it'll show up here. So because I'm going to be bouncing between keystroke commands and using these guys up here. So alright, so let's just run through these, and we'll try to make it quick and painless as possible, and we'll get into more deeper stuff in another tutorial. And this is the first in the series of doing some 3D modeling. We'll get into rendering later on down the road, but which is pretty cool stuff. But so the first one, we're just going to use this little guy here. It's like a poly solid, and some of these, if you hold it down, it'll actually show you how to use the tool. Some of them have little videos, some of them just have little snapshot pictures like this one is. So let's use this poly solid. So it doesn't matter where you're at, really, because we're not trying to draw anything specific. This is going to be a Bob Ross style drawing. It's just kind of going to be whatever it is, and you make it however you want. We're not using hard numbers on this. It's just a little bit of practice for you guys. So first thing I'm going to do is I chose this, left clicked, and then we're going to left click in the screen somewhere, and then click, another left click, and then pull out this way, and then enter. And you see how we're actually in the shaded mode. Now you probably will not be defaulted into that, but you'll probably be in something like this. So yours probably initially started out looking like this, which is fine. But me, just personally, I like to use that. Now, if you're drawing something a lot of 3D geometry, I would advise you not to use this. Draw with this, and then just do checks with this. Because if you're drawing in the shaded area here, you're gonna get it's just not going to function the way you want, because you really have to have a really powerful computer to be able to compute all that stuff, because it's having to compute all the shading and the lighting and everything, so it really clogs your computer up and it gets really glitchy. You can even do this right here. It's kind of like little hidden lines. How you see how you can't see that line, and then this little guy here. It's got sort of like another shaded. What is it, like a, what are we calling this? Conceptual visual style. I don't necessarily use this. I know a couple of my buddies do. They typically draw in this right here. You know, to each his own. Personally, draw in this and check with this. But for what we're doing, we're not having a lot of stuff. We're going to use this, which is the shaded. And this is under the visual styles toolbar. So the next one we can do, and that was the, what was that? That was the poly solid. Next thing we're going to do is the box. Real easy. Just going to left click anywhere in the screen and drag your mouse. Left click again to however you want the shape. You can make it a rectangle, close to a square, or whatever. So we're going to do that. Left click again and then pull up. Left click. Simple stuff. Next one's kind of like a triangle deal here, which we're calling a wedge. So this one we can click anywhere, and we can create that, and then that was another left click, and then left click again. Mostly all left clicking so far. Nothing too hard. And again, we're in the southwest isometric view if you get turned around by accident. So that was out. Now is a cone. Again, just left click. This is going to be about a radius point. So see how I went from the center of the circle and then out. And you can actually see the ortho giving the total distance out we want to go. And if you just type in what you want, say 5. No, let's back up. Say 4. See, we're already at 4.23. So we typed in 4, enter, and it'll lock in that 4. And then now you can pull up. And then you left click when you're happy. There you go. Next one is you guessed it, a sphere. Pretty easy. Again, guys, pay attention to stuff down here because it can give you some key information, especially you know this if you're familiar with standard Autocad stuff. The capital letters are what you would key in, or in, you know, I'm running 2018, they've allowed you to be able to just click on it. So we're not going to mess with any of this. That's a 3-point, 2-point. But this one right here, just click on the sphere again. And if you want, you type in your, say, 3. And it's a radius. Since it's a sphere, it's the same all the way around. Pretty neat there. This one's kind of like a cylinder. Wait for it to pop up so you guys can see it. Whoop. There you go. Yeah, cylinder. See, the first point is the center. Second point is the outer point of your radius. And then your third point would be in your z-axis as shown there. So it actually shows you how to do it. So again, let's choose it. I think I got out of it. So we're going to go to center point, to the outer point. Again, I think we'll use 3 or 4. Let's just go with 4. And you can see 4 keyed in the command line. And now we can pull up in the z direction or the z, depending on where you're from. And we can again just say type in 3. And there you go. Easy stuff. Now we're going to get into a weird one. This is a torus. The first pick is going to be your center point. Your second point is going to be similar to your sphere. And then, but your third point is going to determine the actual diameter of the torus itself, of the actual outer ring, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. So we're going to choose the torus here. Again, it's this circle, so we're going to pick the center point. Let's pull out. Now, let's go back into the circle. See how that gets bigger? More like a donut, really. I might have called this donut if I was the makers of it, but so yeah, there you go. And then wherever you're happy, you see how the number, you can key in. We'll just say key in 1 since we're at 1.22 there in the z-axis. Let's just go 1, and there you go. And look at that, guys. You got some pretty simple shapes up and going really quick. I got 2 more, and then we'll call it quits. This one right here is basically it's a pyramid there, and pull up. Similar to all the other ones. Easy, easy, easy. This last one's going to take a second because it's a multi-step one. This is a helix. Helix. It's just going to create a 2D points here, but I'll show you what I mean. So first thing we're going to do is let's do a circle with it. Left click. Again, let's pull in, left click. Read the command line down there, and it'll tell you some information you can key in and play with. And we're just going to go here. Let's just go with height. The blue H there, and let's type in H, enter, and then let's oh goodness, what did I do? Let's try it again, guys. Sorry. So center point, out, and we're gonna go there. Oh, okay, here we go. And see here, what we're gonna do is just do that. Now what you can do, because there's nothing 3D about it other than it goes into the z-axis and it's kind of a 3D shape. To turn this into a 3D object, you can draw any shape. For instance, just draw a circle, C, enter. And now we're just going to do the circle about the center point of that. Now you're going to 3D rotate it. It's 3DR, and you can see how it pops up. We'll click on that. Click on that guy right there. Let's rotate it about the red here because that's the area, the way we want to rotate it. Pull it straight up. And there you go. Now what you can do is use a neat command called sweep. So type in SW, and there she goes right there. And then we're going to click on the object with your left click. That's your source object. And now about the path, which is around the helix. Click there, and then enter. Or I lied. Let's try it again, guys. Let's try. Click that, enter. Hold on, I'm having trouble with it. So you sweep it, and then what does it say? Select objects to sweep, enter. Okay, I missed a step. So yeah, select objects, enter, and then you select the path. See select sweep path. So we're going to do that, and there you go. That's how you get a spiral. And that's all we're going to do today, guys. Check me out for future stuff, and we're going to go over some in-depth stuff on some of these shapes, how to modify each one of these to if they're not exactly the way you want them, or if they're kind of custom, and like add, subtract commands and stuff like that. And thanks for watching.